we're off.
That's it. So underneath here, the little yellow tap that's down there.
Yeah.
So it's down at the minute, so that's in the closed position. So that's allowing the water to circulate all around the van. When it comes to winter and you want to drain your heating, your hot water and the water system, simply all you do is just lift the yellow tap up.
Okay.
And then it will gravity, so all the water will just drain out the bottom of the van.
So the water system, the hot water system,
Yeah.
has just got fresh water in it?
Yes, yeah, so your water obviously all comes from your Akerol outside.
No, I was thinking more of it's got a wet heating system, I understand.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
The wet heating system is
It's separate.
antifreeze, yeah.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
so for your heating system, it's an antifreeze mix.
Yeah.
So obviously you don't have to worry about draining that, obviously,
Yeah.
because it's got the antifreeze in it. All this one is for any of the water that you've pulled in
Understand.
from externally, so it drains out the water boiler itself.
Yeah.
Obviously the water boiler and the heating's all in that one unit at the end,
Okay.
but they're separate internally,
Yeah.
if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, so all you have to do simply is just lift that and it'll drain all the water out of
Okay.
the system. Okay, so down the bottom here, so down the bottom here is your consumer unit.
Yeah.
So the main ones on here, the green light there is to indicate that your battery charge is switched on.
Yep.
I'll recommend just to leave that on constantly, so you know every time you plug your 240 in, your leisure battery's being recharged.
Yep.
The next one here, so it's one switch for your heating on your hot water. So that's the main power on and off for your heating and hot water.
Okay.
Again, you can just leave that one on. On some of the older vans, if you did switch on your water boiler, you would find that you'd be boiling the kettle with no water in it. But on these lovely, fantastic modern vans, you can't do that because there's a sensor inside your tank, which the element will not heat up until there's water present in the tank. So you can leave the two on. The nice one on the end is just a lovely freebie. It's a lovely spare. Doesn't do anything, so don't worry about that one.
Yeah.
The red one on the other side there, do you tend to take your van on the continent? Are you off abroad? Or you...
No. Well, not yet, but...
Not yet. If you do, what you may find, especially in France, you'll plug it in and that red light will come on. The red light comes on there to indicate that the power supply that you've plugged into is reversed.
Yeah, understand.
So it's then go and find the campsite owner, or if there's a lovely friendly couple by, is just ask how they've done it. You can get adapters and things like that to change that over. Have you done it? Yeah. Cheers, Paul. Thank you very much. So the next one here is your system shutdown, the black one there.
Yeah.
So simply to shut all your system down is just simply press that button and then it'll switch all the
That's
power
like a
on.
master off.
Yeah,
Okay.
virtually, yeah. And then you've got your 12-volt fuses and also your 240 breakers as well.
Okay.
But they're all indicated on this lovely sticker here,
Yeah.
which lets you know which fuse is for what and then also for your breakers as well.
CPs, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go above the door now. So, above the door, to switch all the power on, is simply press the power button.
Yep.
And then up here, so this one indicates that we're plugged into the 240 supply.
Okay.
And this one indicates that we're running off the leisure battery. So the only other one there is view levels. So this is obviously showing the power of our leisure battery.
Yep.
And then obviously vice versa, if we've got the car plugged in, press that again and it will show you the condition of your vehicle battery as well.
Okay.
And then the last one on here is just your water pump. So simply switch your pump on. Just press the button. When the little LED light's on, it means that your water pump's on.
Okay.
Okay. So once you've got your water pump on, you can then bleed your water system through. So that's as easy as always start at the cold tap first and run the tap until you've got constant running water. It will splutter for a minute now because I took the pipe off before.
You're hearing it, yeah.
Obviously once you've got constant flowing water like that, you know that's the cold water primed.
Yeah.
So then to fill the hot water boiler and prime the hot water system is just as easy as turn it to the hot tap and then do the exact same again.
Okay.
What you'll find is if you have drained your system down, it can take sort of 2-3 minutes to pull it through, because if you imagine it's pulling the water in through there and then it's pushing all the air out the boiler and all the pipe works and everything, so it can just take a little bit longer.
Okay.
But obviously once you've got the system primed, it takes no time at all to prime it up. Okay, so that's what, so you know how to power it up now and we know how to get your water on.
Yeah.
The next one is your heating.
Okay.
So it is so simple because it's all on this one lovely control panel. So I'll show you on the control panel first of all. So the little house there indicates the internal temperature. So obviously we're at 23.5 degrees in here. And then the little black plug you can see on the screen there indicates that we're plugged into the 240.
Okay.
If the black plug isn't there, the first thing to check is that on your consumer unit you've got the little orange light on for your heating and hot water.
Yeah.
If there's no lights on there, it's then checking that your 240 supply hasn't tripped on the post
Okay.
outside that you're plugged into. But obviously once you've got that black plug on there, you know that you're ready to fire your system up. So to fire it up, it's just as simple as press the menu. So the top two here are your heating and hot water. So the top one's your heating, and it's just as easy as to turn your heating up. I never got on my touchscreen. Oh, it doesn't like me today, does it?
Yes.
There we go, there we go. There we go. I was missing. So simply just to turn your heating up.
Yep.
Obviously it's just a heating system, so it won't reduce the temperature, but obviously the system will automatically, so now if it dropped below 20.5, it would automatically kick in the heating for you.
And that use the gas or the mains, depending on...
Yeah, I'll talk about that. So that's
Okay,
simply just to set the level for your heating, so it's the same as your thermostat at home.
Fine.
The next one below is for your water. I'm really not getting on with this board. I think it's sitting at a funny angle to it. Oh, it doesn't like me, does it?
Mine doesn't work.
Ah, I know what it is. This is the early version of these. On this one, you can't switch off your hot water.
Okay.
So your hot water's on either Eco, which is 40 degrees, and then also 60 degrees.
Okay.
So obviously 40 degrees may be fine, just if you're doing some washing up and bits and bobs
Yeah.
like that. The main thing is if you're having a shower, I would recommend to turn it up to the 60. It's only a 10 litre water tank inside there. Obviously once you've used all 10 litres of hot water, it'll then refill the tank with cold water.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have to wait for the water to heat up. So obviously if you're both fancying a shower, it's sort of half an hour before, turn it up to 60. And then obviously with the mixer tap, you'll get more hot water as such.
Yeah.
Because you're using less of the hot and more cold.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So the next one's down now. So this is your power select that you said before.
Yeah.
So the top one is your electric. So obviously that's electric off at the minute. And then it goes from 1 kilowatts, 2 kilowatts to 3 kilowatts. So the easiest way of describing that is like grandma's old electric fire. So if you imagine 1 kilowatts 1 bar, 2 kilowatts is 2 bar, and 3 kilowatts is 3 bars.
That's for the heating. That
For
one.
the heating and the hot water this is.
Okay.
So obviously in the winter, if it's really, so it's minus 10 outside, you want to heat your van up quicker. The quickest way of doing that is having it on the 3 kilowatts and the gas. So that's the most power output of
Okay.
the boiler. Obviously in the summer, when you don't need your heating on quite so much.
But has it got a thermostat controlled by this one, though?
Yeah, so the top one there is thermostat.
Once it's up to
controlled.
that temperature, it'll shut down.
Yes, yeah.
The heat
yeah,
source.
Yeah, so all your heating is thermostatically controlled.
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously you just set, the same as in your house, you just set the level that you're comfortable with. If it's anything like my house, it's normally on 16. Well,
Yeah.
actually, to be honest, it's been quite nice. It's been switched off at the minute.
Yeah.
And since I threw the Wi-Fi, it's not getting switched back on constantly, so I'm quite happy about that. My heating bill's gone down. So to switch the gas on and off is just as simple as gas off, gas on.
Okay.
Simple as that. It will light itself, it will do everything. If you do find you're getting a warning triangle which flashes up on there, it's obviously just switch your gas off, pop round, just check A, you've got your gas switched on, or B, that your bottle isn't empty.
Yeah.
If you're happy with everything, just simply relight the gas, just press the on again,
Okay.
and it will automatically prime and light itself.
Right.
Okay. So obviously the main one on this is the top two, so you just remember your top one's your central heating,
Yeah.
and the next one down is for your hot water.
Okay.
And then the bottom two are your power select. What I'll say is 9 out of 10 people obviously pay for a pitch. They pay for their electric anyway, so they do tend to just run everything on electric.
Yes.
The main advice from us is that every appliance in here is designed to run off gas first and electric second.
Okay.
So obviously you're more than happy to run it on electric all the time, but what we would say at least once a month is run the system on gas.
Okay.
Because you run the system on gas, the main thing is then if you are ever stuck and you lose all electric, you know that you can still have heating and hot
Yes.
water, because you know that you can rely on your gas system
Yeah.
to be working.
Okay.
So that's the basics. That's the basics of your panel. There is a lot more, so I will just breeze through this.
Yeah.
But you're happy with the basic functions for your
Yeah, I think
heating
so.
and your hot water?
Yeah. You got all that?
No.
Yeah. Go on. Off you go.
Are you sure? I'll go and talk.
No,
No,
got it.
no.
No, yeah, fine. So the little spanner then. So this brings up the menu. So the first one isn't particularly exciting. Just your clock.
Okay.
So you can obviously set your time, set your date. The on-off at the bottom here is for, you know, the screen I showed you initially, the standby screen.
Yep.
You can have the date and the time showing on
Okay.
the screen. I personally don't like that because I don't want to know how many days left I've got on my holiday. So I don't really want to know what date it is. I'll try and ignore that. So, menu. So, next to it is night temperature. So what you can do is set a reduced temperature at night.
Yeah.
So obviously if you like it, I don't know, say 18 degrees in the daytime, but then obviously when you go to
Yeah.
bed you don't want it quite so hot. You can set the timer so it'll automatically at a set time pull the temperature back down.
Okay.
Or obviously it'll lower it down. It won't cool it down as such, but obviously your heating system won't kick in again until it gets to that temperature. So next one here is a delayed start timer. So this is, for example, say you leave your van somewhere and you go down every Friday. So after work you travel down. What you can do is set this up, have it running, so your van will come on automatically for you at sort of Friday morning. So by the time you get down there Friday afternoon, you've got your heating and your hot water system ready. This one really confuses me. It's either thermostat or continuous. So I don't know why you'd want to switch your thermostat off. Maybe if you took it to Siberia, perhaps, and it was -40 outside. Yeah. So I don't really understand that one, but I'll just leave it on thermostatly control because then you're in control of your heating.
Yes, yeah.
Again, pump, just leave your pump on auto. So it's auto or 12 volts. That's just jostling between, obviously, whether it's running off the 240 or it's running off the 12 volts.
Okay.
If you leave it on the auto, it'll obviously automatically change over. So if you do lose your power outside, you know that your heating system will still run additionally off the 12 volt system.
Yeah, yeah.
Pump level, I wouldn't worry too much about that. That's for how quickly it'll heat up again. But the easiest way of controlling your heating power output is off the kilowatts and the gas.
Okay.
Off the electric things. You'll see on all new ones they've done away with all these features. So this was one of the earlier models that they've done of it, and they've obviously learned that no one presses
too many buttons on it.
Yeah, no one uses it. They've simplified the other ones. So this is your gas, summer or winter. Obviously have it on summer in summertime, and then winter obviously in winter time. All that does is it'll put extra gas in for the winter, so obviously it understands in the winter that the boiler's got more demand, so all it does then is obviously supplies more gas to it.
Okay.
So it sort of it speeds up the heating process. I know it sounds really silly to explain that, but it's just so you know what the function does. So this one is a bacteria feature. So inside your water tank, there's a lovely element in there, obviously already. What it does at about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, it boosts the tank up to 65 degrees and it kills all the bacteria that's in the tank for you. And then this is temperature adjust, so you can offset your heating. So if you're finding it's deepest, darkest winter and you've got it cranked up to 30 degrees and you still think it's not quite warm enough, what you can do is offset the thermostat by a few degrees, and it works same as plus and minus as well. So you can either take a few degrees off or add it on to sort of compensate for the thermostat.
Okay.
But again, you'll find what most people find is that 30 is more than hot enough for them. It's just, you know what, some people like, you walk into the house and it takes your breath away, and other people you walk in the house and think, well, I'm not taking my coat off in here.
Okay.
So the next one down, that's beeper, so you can just press the button, and you can see it was beeping at the minute. If you press the button there, it will silence the beep.
Okay.